Hi, I'm Lim Yunshin, accompanied by my team members Ong Tongwei, Ho Yang, and Joey. Today, we are going to talk about our case study for our software ethics and professionalism assignment, which is the Cambridge Analytica scandal, the software without honor. Why is software ethics and professionalism is important? According to Donald Goldman, the lead author of the ACM Code of Ethics, ethics in software engineering is not optional, but it is a fundamental obligation to society. After this presentation, I am going to make sure that you understand that. But let's understand the important things in software development and management first. First, what is privacy? Privacy is the right of individuals to control their personal data, how their personal data is collected, used, and stored in any software system. Secondly, consent. What is consent? Consent means obtaining clear and informed permission from users before collecting them and to use or store them in any industry. Third, data ethics. What is data ethics? Data ethics refers to the moral principles and the guidelines that govern how data should be collected, used, and stored at any means or form. All of this is related to the scandal of Cambridge Analytica, and I'm going to tell you what. In 2013, Alexander Kogan makes a quiz app called This Is Your Digital Life. This application secretly collected 87 million of Facebook users and their private friends' data without their user consent when they take the quiz. Facebook, even though Facebook realized this, they did not openly discuss this problem to the public. In 2014, the collected data is used by Cambridge Analytica to create fake profiles as an advertisement to aid Ted Cruz's presidential campaign in 2015. This instance was reported by The Guardian, but the Cambridge Analytica still uses the data to create fake profiles as an advertisement to aid Donald Trump's presidential campaign in 2016, and also it refuses to admit it. In 2018, Christopher Reilly, acting as the whistleblower, and exposed all the unethical action made by Cambridge Analytica to The Guardian and the New York Times. The Federal Government Commission (FTC) noticed this instance and started to investigate this problem. In 2019, the FTC levied a record-breaking $5 billion fine against Facebook for the role in privacy breach, and the Facebook market plummeted by nearly 120 billion after the aftermath. As a result of the scandal, Cambridge Analytica filed for bankruptcy and ceased operations. Based on our case study, there are 4 main ethical issues. Let's kindly invite our teammates to inform you about it.
One of the main ethical obligations in software engineering is to protect the public interest and also minimize harm. In Cambridge Analytica scandal, this principle was clearly violated. Between 2013 and 2015, the app This Is Your Digital Life, developed by Alexander Kogan, collected data from about 270,000 Facebook users. However, due to the weak privacy settings, it also harvested data from about 87 million of their friends without consent. This massive breach in privacy exploited millions of Facebook users around the world. The Cambridge Analytica used this data to build detailed psychology profiles and delivered hyper-targeted political ads, manipulating voters' behavior in the 2016 US election and Brexit. As a result, trust in Facebook dropped dramatically from 55% to 27%, with a whopping 28% drop according to survey. The hashtag delete Facebook movement went viral, and user engagement fell sharply, showing how the scandal have deeply damaged the platform credibility.
The Cambridge Analytica scandal highlights how dishonesty and lack of integrity can damage the trust and democracy. Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica were not transparent about their data practices. Facebook downplayed the breach, which ultimately affected 87 million of users. This delayed admissions exposed serious ethical issues. Cambridge Analytica worsens matters by pretending to be an economic firm while actually doing political consulting. It used the deceptive data collections and desecrated its scientific methods to mislead the clients and the public. This action clearly broke the principles of honesty and integrity. By choosing the deception, Both companies violated user trust and also influenced the public opinion unfairly. The case shows why honesty and integrity are essential in software and data practices.
The third ethical issues identified is that in the ACM Code of Ethics principle, the Cambridge Analytica breached the principle of the accountability and the responsibility. Even though Facebook identified such user data in 2015, but they did not have the responsibility to take action until 2018. The whistleblower revealed that the Cambridge Analytica is secretly collecting data from unconsented users. CEO Alexander Nix, the CEO of Facebook, breached his director's duties by mishandling the informational confidential of his investigation, as he did not take the accountability earlier to stop the misuse of data and cause harm by using unconsented information in aiding political events. Because of the delayed users and the regulatory notification, this led to a $5 billion fine for Facebook for privacy violation and the bankruptcy of Cambridge Analytica after the scandal.
The fourth ethical issue in the Cambridge Analytica scandal is respect for privacy and confidentiality. The Cambridge Analytica scandal exposed a serious breach involving the unauthorized collections and use of personal data. Through a personality quiz app called This Is Your Digital Life, data was harvested not only from users who gave consent, but also from their Facebook friends without their knowledge or approval. This resulted in the exposure of sensitive information from approximately 87 million individuals. The data include personal interests, demographic, and social connections, all of which were used to build detailed psychological profiles. These profiles were then exploited for targeted political advertisement during major events such as 2016 US presidential election. Both Facebook and Cambridge Analytica failed to implement proper safeguards, enforce user consent, or ensure transparency. This lack of ethical data handling represents a clear violation of the principle of respect for privacy and confidentiality, highlighting the dangers of weak oversight in digital platforms.
Moving on from the ethical issues, now to address the ethical breaches for public interest seen in the Cambridge Analytica scandal, several solutions have been implemented. The scandal showed how personal data from 87 million Facebook users was taken without consent and used for political manipulation, shaking public trust in digital platforms. In response, the government and the civil society acted. Campaigns like #DeleteFacebook raised awareness, while educational institutions began teaching digital and privacy ethics at all educational levels to build more informed digital generation. Legally, new frameworks like Europe's GDPR and also California's CCPA were introduced. This law gives users the right to access, delete, control, and control their data, while also mandating consent and strict data security. Importantly, lawmakers now consult public when drafting new privacy law, ensuring the user voices shape the future regulation. Now moving on to the next.
To avoid scandal like Cambridge Analytica, honesty must be central in software development. Engineering should clearly explain how their software works and also what the data is collected, offering full transparency to users and also stakeholders. This builds trust and also helps to prevent misuse. Transparency means more than clean codes. It requires open discussions of risks, scopes, and limitations at every stage. This allows early actions to avoid harm and also unethical outcomes. Avoiding deception is also crucial. Misleading users about security of data use, as Cambridge Analytica did, is unethical. Developers must make sure all claims are accurate. Accountability is key to ethical practice. Engineering should take responsibility, learn from mistakes, and also encourage whistleblowing when necessary. With strong oversight, software development can stay aligned with public trust and also integrity.
For the third ethical solution, in the software development, ethical practices must be embedded from the start. This can be achieved by establishing clear policies, offering regular training, and continuously improving ethical standards throughout all stages of software development. It is crucial for companies or leaders to bravely take ownership of their actions, be transparent, and make thoughtful, responsible decisions. This approach not only prevents unethical behavior but also helps build trust with users. Facebook knew about the data misuse in 2015, but they failed to act until 2018, damaging public trust. Additionally, companies like Google have chief privacy officers to prevent issues, but Facebook lacked this early on. Hiring dedicated roles such as chief privacy officers ensures that their compliance with the privacy laws and ethical standards is prioritized and monitored.
To address the serious breach of privacy and confidentiality, strong and enforceable data protection measures must be put in place. One key solution is the implementation of privacy-focused law, such as the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) and the California Consumer Privacy Act (CCPA), which require organizations to obtain clear and informed consent before collecting the personal data. This regulation also gives users the right to access, correct, or delete their data, ensuring greater control and transparency. In addition, companies must adopt the principle of privacy by design, where privacy safeguards are built into software systems from the very beginning. Regular audits, stronger access controls, and clear privacy policies are essential to prevent unauthorized data sharing. Lastly, ethical training for software developers can also help ensure the data is handled responsibly. By taking these steps, organizations can rebuild user trust, prevent future misuse, and create a safer and more ethical digital environment. In my opinion, it is clear that privacy is not simply a technical feature, it is a fundamental human right. The Cambridge Analytica scandal clearly demonstrates that when privacy is not properly respected, the consequences can extend far beyond just the misuse of personal data. It can affect public trust, influence political decisions, and weaken the foundation of democracy. It's important for us to understand the ethical responsibilities that come with our work. Our decisions should not be based only on efficiency or business success, but also on what is right and fair. Every line of code, software engineer write, carry a responsibility, as it can have a real impact on people's life.
I agree that while human rights are important, sometimes we are not the one that takes control of it. Leaders need to be accountable for the mistake the staff and the company makes. This just means that they are willing to admit that they were wrong and willing to do their best to correct their mistakes. Being accountable is not being weak-willed. Sometimes you need to bow your head today so you can hold it high tomorrow.
Besides that, this scandal reminds us that the problem was not only about individuals acting unethically, but also about systems that fail to protect users. Therefore, respecting privacy and confidentiality is not just an optional guideline. It is a professional and moral duty that software engineers or even leaders must take seriously in our work.
That's true. From what I learned, the action of Cambridge Analytica clearly related core ethical principles, especially the duty to avoid harm. By using unauthorized data to manipulate the voter behavior, they interfere with democracy and damage the public trust. This case shows how powerful the data can be and how dangerous it becomes when used unethically. As future professionals, we have a responsibility to prioritize transparency, respect privacy, and ensure our work does not cause any harm to others. The Cambridge Analytica scandal is a strong reminder that ethical choices in tech matters not just for individuals, but also for society as a whole.
After going through this case study, I feel more aware about how serious the consequences can be when ethical responsibility are ignored in the software industry. As someone who is learning to be a software professional, this scandal has taught me that ethical decision making isn't just a theoretical concept, it is something that we need to apply in real life. I realized that protecting user privacy and data should never be taken lightly. We might think that one small decision in code or design doesn't matter, while it's scaled to millions of users. It can shape public opinion, behavior, and also elections. That's why I believe that every system we build should be guided with empathy, fairness, and accountability.
That's right. This is why being absolutely honest and transparent about how the company do things is important. This builds trust and loyalty for users and clients.
After all, being ethical is not just about following the rules, it's about doing what's right, even when no one is watching. The Cambridge Analytica scandal is a reminder that our future must be protected not only by data, also by people, trust, and democracy. As a software engineer, we are trusted with the power to shape the digital world, and with that power comes with responsibility to ensure that our creation uplift the society rather than exploit it. It is crucial to always ask ourselves, does this serve the greater good?
In conclusion, the Cambridge Analytica scandal highlights the critical needs for transparency, accountability, honesty, and ethical responsibility in software development and management. Not only we need to be ethical and professional in the working industry, we need to be ethical and smart when making decisions every day. Thinking from other people's perspectives makes you more ethical. Understanding each perspective is the main way towards success. But there are times we are constrained by unlawful companies' rules. And we must be the first one to break the chain of harm and break the chain of unethicalness. Being ethical is not a form of compromise, but it's a form of integrity and commitment to doing what's right, even when faced with challenges, even when no one is watching, and even if you succeeded. So please follow the ACM Code of Ethics to set a strong example of software ethics and professionalism and contribute to creating a better world. Thank you very much.